Okay, in a minute we're going to use this pattern to show you how we can play notes other than C on the guitar. But first I wanted to just point out a connection between each of these cage system octave patterns and the names of the open strings. Just look at this E shape, for example. So the E shape, which I use as part of the cage system when I'm playing all those C notes, my first finger's on the E string. So this is no coincidence. E shape comes off the E string. Likewise, the A shape comes off the A string with the first finger. The D shape comes off the D string. The G shape comes off the G string. First finger on the G string there. But the C shape comes off the B string. So there's the exception. Let's just have a sort of a closer look at why this is. Problem is there's no B in the word caged, and there isn't a C string. So I like to think of C from the word caged and B from open string names as like two single people who turn up at a party where everyone else is already paired up. They just have to get together. So the best way to think of it when you're working with the cage system, the best thing is to think of the B string as being called the C string, and then it works out. Okay, now let's look at how we use this system to find other notes other than C. Now, the trick here is to fall into quite a routine with it. Once you've learnt this routine, this is actually quite easy. So for example, let's see if we can find all the F sharps on the fretboard. We start off by finding the F sharp that's furthest down the fretboard and that's lowest. So I've come down in this direction, I've got an F sharp there, there's also one there. They're both at the same point on the fretboard, but that one's the lowest. So I'm going to start with that. Next thing I do is I ask myself, what string is that note on? And it's on the E string. So because it's on the E string, I start with the E shape. Once I've started with that E shape, I follow the same pattern as before, replacing my third finger with my first. So after E in the word caged comes D. And then I place my pinky. I've come to the end of the word caged, so I simply start the word again with the C shape, followed by the A shape, followed by the G shape, the E shape again, the D shape again, and again I've run out of fretboard, so those are all the F sharps I'm going to find on there. Let's just try one more. Let's try the note D. So looking down the fretboard here, there's a D there, but actually there's one even further down because there's an open D here. You can't get further down the fretboard than the open string. So I'm going to put my first finger there, and it's a slightly redundant question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What string am I on? I'm on the D string. Because I'm on the D string, I start the cage pattern with the D shape. I've already come to the end of the word caged, so I start spelling the word again. C shape, A shape, G shape. Once you've drilled this a few times just with the C notes, your fingers will naturally follow the path and your ears can check that you're getting octaves all the way. Well, I hope you found that interesting. When I'm teaching the cage system, I often feel I'm up against the fact that it's definitely one of those things that really proves its value in the long run. And at first glance, it may not seem that significant. But I want to tell you right now that both as a teacher and as a guitar player, I personally feel it's right up there amongst the most important elements of guitar playing that I've ever learnt. I can honestly say that from the day I learnt this system myself, I really never looked back in terms of being able to find things on the fretboard. Chords, scales, arpeggios, you name it, it's a very, very powerful system. Okay, now the detail of how this system works is available on a printout, which you can get from the toolbox just by clicking on the printout tab. The case system will enable you to very quickly and efficiently locate any note anywhere on the fretboard. It also forms the basis of a three-part system that will ultimately enable you to do the same with any scale, chord, mode or arpeggio. But to take it to that level, there are two more sort of steps, and the next of these is, interestingly enough, called the sandwich exercise, and this is what we're going to tackle in the next lesson. So I'll look forward to seeing you then.